My boss humiliated me in meetings for 5 years in front of the whole team to feel competent. I quit without notice halfway through the biggest audit of the year. 8 months later her new director called me asking me to come back as an outside consultant. 8 months after I quit, the new director of the firm where I'd worked 9 years called me. He was a man I had never worked with. They brought him in from outside after they walked my old boss out. He called me on a Tuesday afternoon, on speakerphone, with 2 managers listening from the other end. He told me they were prepared to triple the rate I used to make and put me on a 6-month engagement to close the audit she had left undone. Quick pause. If you're the type of person who reads these at 2 a.m. instead of sleeping, you're my people. Subscribe and like so we can keep feeding this addiction together. Okay, back to the story. I let him finish. I told him, Pablo, give me until Friday. He said, of course, Daniela. I hung up. I went back to the conference room where I was closing a meeting with one of my own clients. Friday I called him back. I told him I'd take it, on 3 conditions. Pablo took 2. We signed Monday. Let me back up. My name is Daniela. I'm 32. I'm a CPA with a master's in tax from a private university here. 8 months ago I left the firm Garza Mendoza Asociados, a top-tier audit boutique in Monterrey, after 9 years there. 8 months ago I joined a smaller boutique owned by Carlos Mendoza, a Chiapas-born Regiomontano CPA who had spent 4 years trying to pull me out of the other firm. I'm a manager. I run 4 industrial accounts. I live with my 2 best friends Marifer and Sofia in a rented house on the south side of the city. My mom Eugenia lives in Saltillo, widowed 4 years. My brother Esteban works at a startup in Guadalajara. The firm where I worked 9 years is called Garza Mendoza Asociados. Eugenio Trevino Garza and Mendoza Sr. founded it 28 years ago. Offices in a glass tower on the south side of the city, with a view of the Sierra Madre. 80 employees. Industrial and export clients, steel, auto parts, manufacturing. I started as junior staff at 23, fresh out of school. At 27 they moved me onto my old boss's team. My old boss is named Mariela Garza Trevino. She's 48. Lifelong Regiomontana from old money, CPA from a local private university. She's Eugenio Trevino's niece. Eugenio is one of the founding partners. She made senior manager 7 years ago. They promoted her to director 5 years ago, the same year I joined her team, because her uncle Eugenio pushed for it. Eugenio retired last year because of an early onset Parkinson's they caught at a routine checkup. I'm going to tell a dozen things, because if I don't, it sounds like I'm exaggerating. 6 months into being on her team, in a meeting with Industrial Norma, Mariela asked me to prepare the deferred tax analysis for the client. I worked 60 hours on it. When we showed up to the meeting with Industrial Norma's CFO, Mariela presented the analysis as her own. My name wasn't even on the cover. The CFO congratulated her. On the drive back to the office, in the car, Mariela said to me, Danny, this is how we work. I present, you support. 8 months in an internal partners meeting, Mariela said in front of the 6 partners, Daniela is still learning to read consolidated financials. I had 5 years of experience and was almost done with the master's in tax at Tech. I stayed quiet. 14 months in, Mariela imitated my Saltillo accent in a meeting because I said, no quipo, when they asked me to take an extra project. 3 managers laughed. One of them, Joaquin, Regio his whole life, told me afterward in the hallway, don't take it bad, Danny, it's a joke. At 2 years I asked for promotion to manager. Mariela told me, Danny, you're not ready yet. I'm going to put you on a development plan. The plan was 3 advanced Excel courses and 2 soft skills workshops. I took them. I passed them. The promotion didn't come. Joaquin, who joined a year after me, got promoted to manager 6 months later. At 3 years I asked again. Mariela told me the same thing. This time I asked her what specifically I was missing. She told me, Danny, you have technical skills, but you lack executive presence. I asked her what executive presence meant. She told me, you lack confidence when you talk to clients. The reason I didn't talk to clients in meetings was that she made sure I didn't. At 4 years I started looking for jobs at other firms. I had 2 advanced interviews. The recruiter sent an informal email to a senior partner asking for a reference. The senior partner told Mariela. Mariela called me into her office. She told me, Danny, I know you're talking to KPMG. If you leave, I'll have to tell the partners things I'd rather not tell them. She gave me a 5% raise. I stayed. 4.5 years in, Uncle Eugenio got sick. They diagnosed early onset Parkinson's. He started coming in only 2 days a week. Mariela lost an important shield, but the partners still backed her because she kept bringing in accounts through her social contacts in the Regio elite. At 5 years, the biggest audit of the year came in. Industrial Norma, a 7-year client, our 50th largest account, needed a full audit plus advisory on deferred IETU and binational tax credits because of their exports to Texas. Complex technical territory. Mariella assigned me as technical lead. She kept herself as account lead. She told me, "Danny, run it. I'll come in for the close." We started on a Monday in August. The project was 6 weeks. 12 hours a day minimum. I was in the office by 7:30 and out by 9. The second week Mariella went to Cancun Saturday and Sunday, her daughter's birthday, without telling the team. That Monday we had a status meeting with Industrial Norma's CFO. Mariella texted me on WhatsApp, "Danny, take the meeting, I just landed but I'll be late." I ran the meeting alone. It went well. Mariella got there at the end, said 2 things, took the credit. The 4th week I reviewed the deferred IETU calculations for the 3rd time. I found an error. The methodology we were using was saving the client $5 million in provision, but the methodology didn't apply to Industrial Norma's export profile. If we delivered the audit with those numbers, the moment SAT, the Mexican IRS, did a routine review, which they do within 3 to 6 months, Industrial Norma would have to pay the $5 million plus penalties. The firm would be left holding the bag. I emailed Mariella that Friday at 5 p.m. subject line, Industrial Norma, IETU methodology error, urgent. 3 pages explaining. Mariella read the email, "I know because my email has tracking." She didn't reply. Saturday morning I sent another. "Mariella, I need your sign-off before Monday. Otherwise I'm escalating to a partner." She wrote me back at 3 in the afternoon, from Punta Mita. "Danny, stop being dramatic. We'll look at it Monday when I'm back. It's not that big a deal." Sunday I sat down with Marifer at the kitchen table with a bottle of wine. I told her. Marifer asked me, "What are you going to do?" I told her, "I don't know." Marifer asked, "If you sign the audit with that error and it blows up, who's going to pay?" I told her, "I'm the technical lead." Marifer told me, "Daniela, leave." Monday at 9 in the morning I sent an email to the managing partner and to Mariella. 1 line, "This serves as my notice of resignation, effective immediately. PTO and final compensation as per labor law. Best, Daniela Ovalle." I left the laptop in the office, the keys on my desk, and my blue mug. I walked out at 9:20. I didn't reply to Mariella that day, or the days after, even though she called me 11 times. Tuesday I messaged Carlos Mendoza, a client I'd met 3 years earlier on another audit. Carlos had left KPMG Houston 5 years before to open his own boutique in MTY, 12 employees, industrial clients, focus on cross-border. I told him, "Carlos, I left Garza Mendoza Monday. If you have time this week, I'd like to talk to you." Carlos wrote back in 5 minutes. "Danny, Thursday at 1 at the office. Come by." Thursday I had lunch with Carlos. I told him the technical problem at Industrial Norma without naming names. Carlos told me, "That methodology we use in Houston only for a certain profile. What you're describing doesn't apply." I told him, "That's what I told them." Carlos told me, "Daniela, come work with me." Friday I signed the offer letter. Manager. Salary similar to what I had but with bonus by project, total autonomy, my own office, and reporting directly to Carlos. Started Monday. My mom came up from Saltillo Saturday. I told her everything. My mom told me, "Daniela, you did the right thing." I told her, "I don't know if it was right." My mom told me, "It was." Right doesn't always feel good at the start. I pieced together what happened next over the following months. Industrial Norma signed the audit 2 weeks after I left. Mariella presented the calculations without correcting the error. The managing partner signed. 3 months later SAT opened a routine review. They caught the error. Industrial Norma had to pay $4,800,000 plus penalties. Industrial Norma sued Garza Mendoza for malpractice. The partners ran an internal investigation. They found my emails from the Friday and the Saturday. They found Mariella's email from Punta Mita. They found that I had escalated. Mariella was let go 5 months after my resignation. The social regio circuit closed on her fast. Her uncle Eugenio couldn't shield her anymore. The firm brought in Pablo Aguirre, ex-partner from KPMG Houston, to plug the hole. Pablo is from Chiapas, not Regio, and nobody knew him. He came in with orders to clean up the team and rescue the relationship with Industrial Norma. 8 months after my resignation, Pablo called me. I laid out my conditions to Carlos. 3 times my old hourly rate as an outside consultant. Carlos told me, ask for 4 and back down to 3 in the negotiation. I asked for 4. Pablo accepted 3. The consulting was through Carlos's boutique. I billed Carlos. Carlos billed Garza Mendoza, because I didn't want to be back on that firm's payroll. Explicit clause: I report to Pablo directly, not the managing partner. Explicit clause: neither Mariela nor anyone from her old circle attends my meetings. Pablo agreed. Eugenio Trevino, by then retired, sent a welcome email to the client. I didn't reply. The first day I walked into Garza Mendoza as an outside consultant, I came in with my own badge from Carlos's boutique, not the firm's. Mariela's old office was now Pablo's. They gave me a senior manager office that had been left empty by someone who had walked out. Joaquin, the one who laughed when Mariela imitated my accent, was no longer at the firm. He had left when he saw the place was unraveling. 3 of the 4 people on my old team said hi to me in the coffee room like nothing had happened. The 2 admin assistants brought me flowers on my first day. One of them told me, "Daniela, you took your time." 6 months later I closed the engagement with Industrial Norma satisfied. I cashed out. I went back to Carlos's boutique. I'm still here. Mariela has sent me 3 LinkedIn messages in the last year. The first, 9 months ago: "Daniela, can we talk? I'd like to chat with you." I didn't reply. The second, 5 months ago: "Daniela, I know you have reasons to be angry, but I have a family and I need work. I know you have contacts. Please." I didn't reply. The third, 2 months ago: "Daniela, I read your post about finishing the masters. I'm proud of you." I didn't reply. Marifer asked me one night, eating pizza at the house, "Danny, did the third one not get to you a little?" I told her, Marifer, for 5 years she asked me to tell her who I was. I answered with the resignation. She doesn't need any more messages from me. In an audit there's a point where you sign. Before you sign, everything you find you have to prove and fix. After you sign, everything that comes up later is your problem. Mariela signed the Industrial Norma audit using my methodology without the correction I sent her on Friday. She signed it thinking nothing was going to come up. Something did. The difference between her and me is that I didn't sign. The only thing I signed at that firm was my resignation, on a Monday at 9 in the morning, after 5 years of meetings where they wouldn't let me speak.